Hello, Dr. James Bogash, expert in health and longevity, and today we're going to talk about fasting and specifically some different flavors of fasting, if you will, because there's a lot of different ways to fast. And 10 years ago we wouldn't have been having this conversation, but with things like time-restricted eating and OMAD and those kind of things, like fasting has become a much more topic of conversation than it used to be years ago. The bottom line is that fasting can be a powerful tool. It can also screw you up if you don't do well by shutting down thyroid function, by losing muscle mass. There's a lot of ways that fasting can go south. And just by not eating breakfast, you're not fasting. So it's kind of like just because you don't eat meat doesn't mean you're living a vegetarian or a vegan lifestyle. There's a lot of nuances with it that make it better or worse for you. So in this particular study, looking at 75 people across 3 different groups, followed them for 4 weeks, and they followed one of 3 patterns. Either control was just no changes at all. Time-restricted eating was the participants would eat between noon and 8 p.m., so that's not an unreasonable window. If math is your favorite, that's an 8-16 hour window. So not unreasonable. And if you did, you could even shift that and do like breakfast and stop eating by 4 o'clock or something. And the other one was alternate day fasting. And when we started looking initially at fasting, a lot of people didn't necessarily want to cut back on calories forever, and that's where some of the time-restricted eating came into play. But alternate day fasting is 0 to 25% of your calories. So you take a baseline, and one day you do 0 to 25% of your calories, so really cut back quite a bit, and the next day it's ad libitum, so it's basically whatever you want to eat. So what did they find and which one? So these, again, are powerful tools, but alternate day calorie restriction turned out to be far more powerful in fat loss, so almost 3 times the total body fat loss as what you saw with time-restricted eating. And some of that could be as simple as cutting back on your calories, because the alternate day fasting group cut back on caloric intake by 34% versus 15% in the time-restricted eating. Additionally, in the alternate day fasting group, the fat loss was, they saw some visceral fat loss, which is the fat loss we want to lose. You didn't see that with time-restricted eating. Granted, 4 weeks might not have been enough to see any drastic changes, but they also did see in the alternate calorie restriction that thyroid hormone went down, which is the body's attempt to kind of conserve energy in a scarcity, starvation situation. So again, it's one of those things that you have to be careful of and make sure that you're balancing that out with exercise so that the body doesn't think we're in starvation and starts cutting back on resources to conserve energy. Also, resting, so basal metabolic rate went down more in the alternate day calorie restriction, which again is just consistent with the body trying to shut down and conserve calories. So take-home message is that fasting can be a powerful tool, but it has to be done properly, and there are different nuances with different flavors, if you will, of fasting. As always, I'll post a link to this particular study in the description. Make sure you like this video, share it with somebody you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel.